What is good, my fellow warriors of light? This is your host, Lotus Moon, with another Mobius Final Fantasy video. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a re-review on all three of the Mythic Legend jobs. Now the reason I'm doing this review is because just this month they have re-released all three Mythic jobs into the Legend job pool, which you can now try and summon through the regular means of the greater ability summon. So on my channel, I have the original reviews and my initial reaction to each Mythic job when they were first released in Global. And let me just give you guys a quick history lesson in case you don't know how they were originally released. The very first one was the Mythic Sage, and that was released last year in December. And that was part of the whole, what they called paywall legend jobs. And so back then, starting with Ace Striker, Square Enix first introduced legend jobs into Global with the means of getting the job with the purchase of basically $75 worth of Magicite. So in the past here, you go to your purchase Magicite, and you had to get basically a total of 12,000 Magicite. Which is pretty much this one right here, the $75 US. And then you would obtain the legend job, quote unquote, for free. Okay, so I don't dare say you got a free legend job, but just by the means of purchasing in-game premium currency, which is Magicite, you were able to get a legend job guaranteed just by purchasing Magicite. So now, I know the community was really upset when this first came out because it was saying that this gave free players and even just casual spenders no way to obtain legend jobs. And this was true. Now, I really wish that Square Enix gave us different options in which to get legend jobs. The paywall is completely gone. But, you know, it was a good option for certain people, including myself. Actually, I always buy Magicite anyway every month. Not because I'm a whale or anything. I buy a modest amount. I'm not spending, you know, hundreds or thousands of dollars on this game. You know, I make small purchases every month just to support the game and also to continue to give you guys content. But it was a nice option because by purchasing 12,000 Magicite, it gave you a guaranteed legend job. And then you get to keep your Magicite. The Magicite was still yours to spend any way you wish to spend it. But like I said, this upset many people because, like I said, free-to-play players and casual spenders were not able to obtain legend jobs in this fashion. So, as you know now, we only can get legend jobs through doing greater ability summons here under summon cards. And then right here, it'll tell you now have a chance at drawing a legend job card. It's just a chance. Some people might have better luck than others. You know, now to me, this is a great option, of course. It gives people at least hope to get a legend job. Now, the thing is, you could very easily spend much more than 12,000 Magicite trying to get a legend job. So this is kind of my gripe. You know, it's gacha, so it's just all a gamble. I personally like guaranteed stuff, but I understand, you know, why people wanted gacha legend jobs. You know, and it's fine. You know, it's what the community wants more than just, you know, select people. So it's fine. You know, I'm not gonna get into the whole argument which is better. You know, is it better as it is now, or was it better before as a paywall? You know, I wish there was a happy medium, honestly. Or maybe give people different options. If people want to do a paywall, let them do a paywall. If people want to do gacha chance, let them do gacha chance. I don't understand why we can't have both. You know, if people want to spend this, if people want to buy the 12,000 Magicite to buy a legend job, let them do it. And the people that don't want to do it, let him do the Greater Ability Summon to try to get it for, you know, as a free draw, basically. But I'm not going to spend this video talking about the past or what is now. This is going to be a review on the legend jobs. Oh, and just a side note, if you did get all 3 mythic legend jobs in the beginning, they did throw in this Mythic Echo right here. Mythic Echo, a lot of people don't have her. She's basically wearing the uniform of the Mythic Knight, which is kind of like the original Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy 1 or whatever. And it's pretty cool. I don't really use this Spirit costume too much because I prefer Echo to be wearing nothing. You know, I'm one of those Echo perverts, I guess you could say. So having Echo in a bikini just looks much better to me. But this is a very cool outfit, and it was a gift if you bought all the 3 legend jobs. So I have it on right now just for this review. So before I talk any more about these legend jobs in our current meta, let me let you understand that these are now pretty old jobs, really, in the time stream of where we're at right now. And they're going to be a little bit underwhelming. They are still very strong. They're kind of like glass cannons, though. They have very strong auto abilities to deal a lot of damage. And they also have Prismatic Shift Ultimate. So they have a lot of good things to them, and heal drives, but they're going to be very squishy. They don't have a lot of resistance or health. Health is the main issue. Now, one thing I want to talk about in the very beginning, this is actually going to be part 1 of 2 review videos on these Mythic Legend jobs. And the reason why is because, lo and behold, I knew it was coming eventually. Japan is going to be getting Hall of Fame on these legend jobs, on these mythic jobs. So this is extremely exciting for you Japanese players. I've been waiting a long time to see what kind of Hall of Fame these jobs get. Now, considering how good these jobs were in the beginning, I imagine these jobs are going to be extremely broken once they get Hall of Fame. I know they will for sure. Like, I guarantee it. And I'm going to be showing you your post Hall of Fame evaluation in this video, and once we get the proper evaluation in Japan for the Hall of Fame, I'll be making the second part of my video to talk about their Hall of Fame briefly and what to expect in the future for these jobs. So yes, it's very exciting. And they kind of talk very briefly about what to expect for each legend job Hall of Fame. And if you don't know what Hall of Fame is, I will be talking about it briefly here in a minute. Let me just get through these really quick. So the Mythic Knight, it looks like it's going to be getting a huge boost in Earth, Attribute, and Break damage. So it's going to be a lot stronger. It's probably going to be actually the best Earth attacker, I'm assuming. Maybe not as strong as the Cloud job, but I imagine it's going to get a huge boost to its Earth attack. And also it's talking about here, it's going to get its auto ability is going to make it easier to get the ultimate. So I'm very looking forward to see what comes of that. The Mythic Ninja. Now, the Mythic Ninja has always been one of my favorites, just because he looks so awesome. But besides that, he's going to be getting a great boost in break power and firepower. So it says here, he's going to get dedicated skill cards. The ability to break will rise dramatically with Smart Break and weak point damage up. And even break damage can be aimed for further break up. So that's going to be awesome. He's going to be actually a very strong breaker. And it also, of course, well, his strength has always been his strong firepower. So they're going to continue with that as well, giving him a lot of strength in doing high damage. And Mythic Sage. Now, Mythic Sage, it says here, he's going to be transformed into an attacker whose firepower is elemental attributes is going to be increased to top class. So the fact they're saying he's going to be one of the top class attackers, I can only assume how powerful he will be. Because even now in Global, he's still a very, very strong attacker. And once I show you guys his auto abilities, you'll understand why. He comes standard with some very crazy auto abilities. It says here, by installing dedicated skill cards, break damage increase upgraded, and same attribute chain and are added. Let's see here, it's possible to hit high damage by repeatedly hitting the same ability after break. So it looks like you're going to get some strong ability chain damage. Let's see here, in addition, master Rainbow Elemental Starter, stability at the start of battle increases. So anyway, so yes, we're getting, Japan is getting custom skill panels, Hall of Fame for these for these mythic jobs. And in case you guys don't know, I get this question often. Say, hey, Lotus Moon, what is Hall of Fame? What is this? So Hall of Fame is basically a special region that you can acquire specific custom skilled panel cards for your specific jobs. Okay, so like it says here, get specific skill cards. So it says here, by clearing it's basically like a job quest region, which is called Hall of Fame. Instead of like the crappy, really right now the custom skill panels we have available in global are pretty shitty, honestly. It's just the beginning, you know. It's the ones we have right now in global is just the beginning. Once we get Hall of Fame, it's going to be a huge boost to our power. So as you can see here, I'm sure you noticed already, the bottom line here, it says job. So these will be for your Hall of Fame job specific panels, and then there's the special panels, and then the general panels. Right now, people just load them up with whatever crap they have, including me. I just have a bunch of magic and stuff, so this is fine for now, but once we get Hall of Fame, it's gonna give us thoughts for these job specific panels down here. So very exciting, guys. I don't know when it's exactly gonna come to global, but expect when you hear about it, it's gonna be definitely a game-changing feature. So of course the earlier jobs are gonna get the custom skill panels for Hall of Fame first. So if you have any of the older jobs, I think it was this one right here, the job route first capture details. So like Warrior, Knight, Hunter, Ranger, White Mage, and Mage. These are the first ones that are going to get the Hall of Fame. So look out for these older job guys. Once these guys get Hall of Fame, they're going to be very relevant again. And then the second ones were this group here, Samurai, Dark Knights, Assassin, Thief, Red Mage, and Black Mage. And then finally, more recently, they've been releasing these guys. This is a while still, guys. Understand, this is not going to come anytime soon. You know, they're probably going to be released in this order also. But anyway, so yeah, that's basically what Hall of Fame is. Now it's just saying here, Hall of Fame has super high difficulty. So it's saying here it's very difficult and not all players can clear it. And it says here basically that you cannot use Phoenix Downs, and you cannot use friend rental cards. So it's kind of like the Chaos Vortex. You cannot revive yourself with Phoenix Downs, and you cannot use rental cards. And it's saying here it's just extremely hard, so you have to really be prepared for this. So once it comes out, guys, you know, this is definitely going to be a huge new feature. So let's talk about first really quick. This is going to be the pre Hall of Fame evaluation, and that's why I wanted to make this video now, because I just want to show you the jump in the rating. And this goes for any job, you know. As jobs get a Hall of Fame, they're gonna be getting a huge boost in their evaluation. So here is the Mythic Knight. His current evaluation before Hall of Fame is 80 points in solo and 85 points in multi, and his multiplayer role is attacker. So, you know, these are just average rankings, you know, it's not super high. Remember, this is current Japan before the Hall of Fame, so once I make my second review video talking about Hall of Fame evaluations, you will see. It's just talking about here, he has very high level of attack, high break power and magic power. He has a very strong ultimate. He has enough durability. His weak point is, of course, very low HP. And you'll see this common with all these mythic jobs. They all have extremely low HP. And it says here, there's no upper job correction, which is just talking about there's no Hall of Fame yet. let's see here, and I know people are getting excited for the Hall of Fame, but his elements are fire, wind, and earth, and his weapon is the Braveheart. Now, I'm gonna talk briefly about all the weapons of these mythic jobs, but basically they're gonna be some of the best weapons in the game forever. There's gonna be other high-ranked weapons, of course, but in global, these have been the strongest weapons and continue to be. As you can see here, this is the Braveheart for the Mythic Knight. So its solo player evaluation is double S, which is the very highest ranking weapon can get, and its multiplayer evaluation is S. So being a double S rank and an S rank in multi is an extremely powerful weapon. If anything, guys, these mythic legend jobs are worth getting for their weapons alone. Like, it doesn't even really matter if you don't like these jobs that much, but every single one of the mythic jobs come with a double S and S rank weapon. So these weapons are going to be game changing for you in multiplayer. Understand that these weapons are all for attacker roles. So if you're a breaker or a healer or a defender, these weapons don't matter at all. These weapons, you can think of them as like a glass cannon weapon. They have basically all their effects are for boosting your damage. So here it is fully unlocked with boosting. It's going to get same attribute chain 50%, critical damage up 70%, break damage up 70%, and then finally ultimate move level up +1. And this is the main problem with these weapons, though. If any, it takes a very, very, very long time to get a maxed up boost. As you can see here, it says number of reinforcements. Basically, I think it takes about 101 times to modify these weapons to get all the percentages up. And it's a very slow process, guys, and it gets very expensive. So I'm still working on my weapons, of course. I'm nowhere close to this, but these weapons are definitely like an endgame type weapon. There are other jobs that give you also similar ranks, but in global, these are going to be our best ones currently. Let's see here. I don't want to talk much. I'm going to talk about their auto abilities in game, not off the website, because this is Japanese. You know, it's just easier to show you in game. So I'm gonna stop for that guy. Let's get to the Mythic Sage here really quick. Let me make sure I'm still logged in. Okay, good. So the Mythic Sage, same thing. It's going to have a lower evaluation currently because it doesn't have Hall of Fame panels. This thing would just translate for me. If you guys are having trouble translating, try Google Chrome. Google Chrome works fine for me with Ultima website if you're trying to view this website. So here he is, Mythic Sage. Now, his current evaluation is 80 points in single player and 80 points in multi, and he's also an attacker. So, like I said, this evaluation is a little bit low. It's been like this for a while. He's very strong, though. He has, like, extremely good firepower. His weak points is, of course, he has low break power and also low HP. Let's see here. I just want to show you his weapon also. His weapon is also really, really strong. And all the weapons are going to have the same kind of abilities. Just one for each job, basically. So here it is, the Eternity Staff. I always thought it's a cool looking weapon, too. It's very, very unique. It got like some dragon wings on the side of it. It's like a gold staff. Very cool looking. Also rated double S and S. So again, if you pull the Mythic Sage, he's a very strong attacker in multiplayer, but also he has, of course, the broken weapon for you attackers out there. I know you guys are drooling looking at these stats, so, you know, chain attribute plus 50%, break damage up to 70%, critical damage up 70%, and special move up +1. So, again, another extremely powerful weapon. And last but not least, we have the Mythic Ninja. he looks pretty badass. I've always liked the looks of him. Evaluation currently before Hall of Fame is going to be 80 points in single player and 85 points in multi. I'm not going to wait for it to translate. It doesn't even matter. His elements is fire, water, and wind, and he has the Eternal Blade. So Eternal Blade, it's also been one of my favorite weapons for multiplayer attackers. This is especially a good weapon for the rogue. If you have the rogue, slap this weapon on him, you'll see definitely an increase in your damage. It looks pretty sweet too. Again, double S ranked and S in multi, one of the best weapons in the game, period. So you're gonna get same stats basically. You can read them for yourself. It's exactly the same as the other two. So those are the current evaluations. And now let me just talk a little bit about. And of course it logged me out. So I'm just going to pause the video here while it reloads. So you have to sit through that. And we're back. That's the only thing I don't like about this game is the very long load time. But anyway, so let's get on with the review. So I'm going to start with the Mythic Knight here. So visually, you know, I always like to do a visual evaluation of him. He looks really awesome. Love his armor, love his helmet, looks really awesome. I mean, he's just a really cool looking job. Definitely very, very appealing looking by visually. They did a great job with all the details on his armor. So, you know, I have his Braveheart X here, and I'll just show each weapon briefly. We already saw the evaluation on Ultima, but here it is. Tune Chain, Painful Break, and Improved Criticals. Very strong weapon. So let me show you his auto abilities, and before that let me just put on some junk weapon so we can see without the weapon and then with the weapon. So this job's gonna get Clutch Boost, Clutch Wall. It's gonna get double heal drive, so not triple heal drives like you might be used to. This only has heal drives to the fire and wind elements, so if you drive the other element, was it fire? It's not gonna get any healing, earth. If you drive earth, it's not gonna get any healing effect. Has elemental call +2 to fire and wind. So basically, let's see, your fire damage received during fire elemental drives creates orbs. So kind of nice. He's gonna mostly have enhanced earth. So I don't. This one. My cloud cards give me a 10% extra to earth, but without that, it's gonna have, I believe, 60% earth strengthening, and not really strengthening to any other elements. So this is the reason why I believe he's gonna be a very strong earth attacker, especially after Hall of Fame comes out, because he already has a specialization in earth. So he's going to be dealing some very high earth damage. He has a little bit of resistance, as you can see here, 20% and 30% to earth. I'm not sure if that's from maybe a card I have on, but I don't really feel like taking off all my cards right now. Painful Break, 50%, and this is standard. This is just his regular skill panels. So all these jobs, as you'll see, have extremely high-powered auto abilities. So even without his weapon on, he has Painful Break plus 50%, which is huge. Exploit Weakness 20%, Improve Criticals 50%, Healing Victory plus 10%. I think he comes with Kill and Drop plus 1 regularly, and then if you job change, it shifts to Earth. So very good job for dealing damage. And with his Braveheart X, as you can see here, it's gonna be a huge boost in damage. Painful Break 79%, 101% improved criticals, Attune Chain 33%, of course, from the weapon. So extremely a powerful job. So he's gonna be pretty good as an earth attacker in multiplayer. So if you have this card right here, the Cloud Dissidia, you're gonna be dealing some huge earth damage with him. But yeah, as you can see here, his HP is definitely lacking. Only 6,564. And this is with deck level 258. and I have HP up plus 3%. So you know, you're gonna be sitting around the mid 6,000s to 7,000 range in all these jobs. Very low HP, very easy to die from an ultimate hit in 4-star Sicarius. So very important that you bring some kind of a defense, or make sure your healer, you know, protects you, because you know most likely you might die, which is, you know, been one of the major problems with these jobs. So let's move on to the Mythic Ninja. So like I said earlier, Mythic Ninja has always been one of my favorite looking legend job classes, because I've always liked ninjas in general, but he definitely looks pretty awesome in his red outfit here, and then his split cape here looks really nice, and here he is with his SS rank weapon, Eternity Blade. Same thing, Attune Chain, Painful Break, and improved criticals on this. It's definitely a weapon for an attacker. So this has been my only gripe about this job. It's not really fit much as a breaker. His multiplayer role is a breaker, but the weapon that he comes with is for attackers. So if you're going to use this guy in multiplayer as a breaker, you're definitely going to bring your Butterfly Edge or something good like that has a piercing break. This is my single player, and I'll show him in multiplayer, but this is my single player setup at the moment. So again, very low HP. He has 7,000 HP here only because of how high HP up fractals I have on him. If it wasn't for that, he'd also be like in the lower 6,000 HP range. So again, very squishy. One plus to this guy is, though, he has very high magic for a rogue and for a ranger class in general. So 650% magic right now, that's very high for a ranger class. I know a rogue is still stronger, of course, has higher magic, but keep in mind, you know, this is a breaker class, so he definitely has some very strong magic. His ultimate has been another problem as far as his multiplayer role, because as you can see here, and I mentioned this before in another video, I believe, but his ultimate is not really suited to be a breaker. He has a very high attack ultimate, Sword and Sorcery, but his break power is very, very weak, so it's not going to help you break the enemy any faster in multiplayer. So that's why I kind of prefer to bring like Viking in multiplayer, because the Viking Overkill ultimate is extremely strong at breaking. Whereas this job, you're not going to be doing much break damage with this. So now as far as his break power goes, I'll show you how much break power he has in multiplayer, but he has a pretty decent amount of break power. So he's an overall great job. Now remember, all these mythic jobs are going to have prismatic shift ultimates. So honestly, prismatic shifts is one of my favorite abilities on an ultimate. Any of the jobs that don't have it, I always miss it when I'm doing my ultimate. So of course, prismatic shift is great. This also adds boost when you cast this ultimate, so that's great. And now let's look at his auto abilities really quick without the weapon, because obviously the weapon's gonna make it look much stronger. So yes, he has Clutch Boost and Clutch Haste, perfect for a breaker roll, which is good. Same thing, all these jobs are going to have only 2 elements of heal drives and then 2 elements of the elemental call. He has some enhancements to to a couple of abilities at 30%, I believe, to 2. Now this is without his weapon, Piercing Break plus Painful Break plus 50% and Exploit Weakness 20%. And improved criticals 68%. So again, this is a very high damage class. These abilities don't really fit a breaker role, which is why I like this job a lot in single player, because in single player he can break fast, plus also he can do a lot of damage. Of course, with his main weapon, the Eternity Blade X, you're gonna see a drastic increase in his damage. Painful Break 75% now. Improved criticals 122%, that's huge, and you get Attune Chain. So very strong job. I've always had a lot of fun with this job, and he just looks amazing anyway. But I definitely like him more in single player. So anyway, I think that pretty much covers him there. Let me go to now the last one, the Mythic Sage. So from all these 3 mythic jobs, I've used the Mythic Sage the most. Now the reason why is because he is an extremely good multiplayer attacker. Whereas the other 2, they're lacking a little bit, especially compared to the Sage here. The Sage is just one of, and also we don't really have too many good fire elemental attackers. We have a lot of mages that can do great water damage, such as the Black Mage, of course, the Occultist. There's a ton of jobs that can deal high water damage. But for dealing high fire damage, this has always been one of the best options. So again, here's the Eternity Blade, Eternity Staff X. Awesome looking weapon, as I told you earlier. It has like little red wings on the side. The staff is mostly golden, and they got some kind of orb on top. So visually, really unique, pretty awesome looking. Again, same 3 auto abilities: approved criticals, painful breaks, and attuned chain. And I'm just gonna show you. Well, let's look at his ultimate really quick. His ultimate is called Full Burst. And this is an AoE ultimate, so it's going to hit everything in a radius. It's a pretty nice looking ultimate. He kind of like charges up and then releases this this big area attack. It doesn't deal much break damage though, so just keep that in mind. If you're trying to break something, it's not going to do much to it. But it's going to deal a high amount of damage. Also, it's going to add boost and also going to have prismatic shift, which is the important part. So you're gonna have all your orbs turn prismatic, of course, just like all these other jobs. Auto ability, same thing. 2 heal drives. It's gonna have clutch regen and clutch boost. It's gonna have 2 elemental calls, and it's gonna have kind of like it's gonna have some fire enhancement and some wind enhancement, and then some fire and earth resistance. Now he's going to have high painful break. So again, all these jobs have very high painful break incorporated. So without the staff, again, 50% painful break just from an auto ability. Just his regular skill panels are going to give you 50% to painful break, which is incredible high damage for when you break your enemies. Exploit weakness 40%, that's awesome. Improve criticals 30%. It's gonna come with kill and draw +1. The other 2 kill and draws you see here are coming from my cards, so don't get confused with that. One other thing to mention, I forgot to mention earlier. All these jobs are gonna have advert break power down 100%. So all these mythic jobs, they cannot have their break power reduced, which is nice, especially for the Mythic Ninja. It makes most sense for him, really. Yeah, avert breakdown 100%. So these guys cannot have their break power reduced. And again, just for the sake of being consistent, let's show his auto abilities with his weapon on. Painful break now 78%, and this is gonna continue getting higher, guys. Remember, these percentages are only gonna keep increasing to what I showed you online. So. You know, it's gonna keep getting stronger and stronger. These weapons are amazing. Again, very low HP. The reason he has 7,200 here is because of I have HP up fractals on his cards, giving him a boost in HP, which I highly suggest you do, guys, if you're planning to use these mythic jobs. Try to give him some more HP with fractals, because they're dealing a high amount of damage already, so they don't really need more damage particularly. What they need is HP. Magic, as you can see here, he has over 1,000 magic here. Part of that's because of my highly boosted weapon. My eternity staff is really boosted in magic, but still, a very high amount of magic. This guy's gonna be a beast in multiplayer. And I realized I didn't talk about the ultimate for the Mythic Knight. So let's just take a look at that really quick. It's called Shining Wave. I believe it's just, yeah, it's a single target attack, which I wish it was area attack, but it's only going to hit one target. And it does a high amount of damage and low break, as you can see here. And it's also going to give you that prismatic shift and add boost. So as you can see here, all these mythic jobs kind of have a recurring theme. High damage, low HP, prismatic shift ultimates, and super powerful weapons. So like I said, these jobs are still good in global for single player. Like I said, you might have some trouble with their HP. Now in multiplayer, Mythic Sage is definitely gonna stand out the most as a high damage attacker, and really he's even comparable still to the damage you'll get from an occultist, because just from his high magic and his awesome auto abilities. So anyways, you can see here I have this multiplayer setup going on here. Eternity Staff on. He definitely a strong attacker. Mythic Knight. Now, same thing, as you can see here, his break power is now 1,212. So he definitely gets that. Just like all the breaker jobs, you're gonna get an increase to your break damage from this. Break power up plus 50%. So pretty decent break. Honestly, the break power of all the rangers are kind of suffering compared to the break power of the monk jobs. But still, this is still an effective breaker, and as you can see here, I have the Butterfly Edge X on him, which is going to give him a boosted piercing break. I have 65% piercing break, so this is a pretty good setup. He is definitely a decent breaker, but he's definitely not going to be overpowered as some people might think. He's just going to be a pretty decent breaker. And then same thing with the Mythic Knight. This is going to be a very strong attacker. He has very high magic for a warrior type job. As you can see here, almost 700% magic just from whatever I have here. I could probably even make it better here. You see I have some wasted skill panels here. I can put some more magic if I wanted. But anyway, this is a very strong job though, multiplayer. Now he has 700 there. Like I said, you're definitely gonna be focused if you're using this guy with Earth, since he has mostly enhanced Earth. But yeah, very, very strong attacker still in multiplayer. Just be watchful of your HP. So anyway, guys, I think I talked enough about these jobs. If you guys get them, I hope this kind of helps you understand what you're getting. These are older jobs now, but they are still very relevant. They're still useful. As time goes on, these jobs are gonna fall behind, of course. The newer legend jobs in the future, especially the Final Fantasy 13 event legend jobs, are all gonna be like a few tiers higher. So but still, if you get these jobs, be happy. You got awesome weapons, and eventually you're gonna get Hall of Fame panels, which are gonna make these extremely strong. Just realize, guys, though, we are about a year behind Japan, so if you're expecting Hall of Fame to come out soon for these, they're not going to come anytime soon unless for some reason Global has an accelerated schedule. So I hope this helps you guys understand these mythic jobs a little bit more, and hope you guys are excited for getting them in the job pool. I know some people are not happy that they're being added now, because obviously with our new gacha system with a summon legend job pool, you don't know what you're going to get. So this is kind of like diluting the pool, as some people call it. So like in the future, if you wanted a specific legend job, there's now a lot of legend jobs in the pool, and it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. So it's just like Japan. You don't know what you're going to get. You just have to hope for good luck and get the legend job that you want. So anyway, guys, this has been Lotus Moon. Hope this video has been informative to you. Probably in about, let's see here, maybe next week or so, I'll make my second part video just talking briefly about the Hall of Fame panels that they got, because I'm very curious to see what their next evaluation is going to be. Okay, so until next time, this has been Lotus Moon. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you see here.